Oh, ho, 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 ho. We are live. We are live. Good morning, everybody. With some coffee and this this thing. This doesn't seem like we're doing. I'm probably gonna change this. What's going on, everyone? If you're new to the channel, we talk physical health, mental health. Let me sit down. This is a live. I've been doing a lot of lives lately because I sometimes feel like I have to talk about whatever it is and see what sticks. So just like you might be doing something, the more you do it, the better you get at it. So the more we get into the trenches and the more we fall into doing something, the better we're going to get at it. So if perfect example, if you play a sport, right, but you only do the sport once a week, don't be upset when everyone else is passing you and you are just staying stagnant. You got to practice. You got to do more. So the same thing with YouTube Live. Like, I'm going to try this thing. I'm probably going to get rid of it because I feel like I'm doing stand-up comedy. But hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for coming out. Like, that's what it feels like. So I'm going to take it off. Excuse the pardon the noise. Pardon el noiso. I'm going to put this on here instead so I can talk freely. Again, if you pop into the chat and you have a question or something that you want to ask, please let me know and I will answer as much as I can. If not, I'll go back to my messages that I get through. And today's focus is going to be mainly on the mental aspect of things. I'm doing a lot of stuff between training over 40 and being consistent there. But a lot of times, what I get into as well is let me hold on. Tap, 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 tap. Let me get my questions that people ask me through other videos that I've had. How do you feel? How do you deal with days where motivation is zero? That's a pretty good question, right? It's a pretty good question to fall onto a Sunday here in the world. And I don't know about you, but in Las Vegas, it's cloudy, which is for the first time ever. I wish I could show you. I can't because if I move the camera, it'll go off. But it is cloudy, which makes you not want to do anything, right? So what are the steps that I take personally? And there's a lot of days where I have tons of motivation. There's days that I don't have motivation, which is why I don't rely on motivation. Now, I don't want to say that to you because you may be a person that's relying on motivation now, but it's just a thing, right? And in order to be consistent, you don't want to rely on motivation. You want to rely more on discipline, and the discipline of keeping your routine, keeping your ways is what it is, right? It's motivation can come and go. So if I needed motivation, okay, so let's reframe the question without going crazy. If I needed motivation now, what would I do? Get up. That's it. 3, 2, 1, get up. And then move. Right? I'm not saying just move. Walk around your kitchen. Go up and down the stairs. Go outside. Come back and move. Because when you're not motivated, all the body wants to do is sit. And if you keep feeding it stagnant movement, meaning nothing, it's going to stay there. You have to break the pattern, right? Even when you're not motivated. So if you're not motivated, find a YouTube clip. Find something that'll be boom, that's going to get me going right now, just for like a second. But then once you get it, get out of the seat. Get out of your bed. Get out off the couch and just move. Movement is medicine, and I'll always say that, right? Getting up and doing something to help you become motivated is the key. It will lead to some motivation. It'll lead you somewhere, right? But if we just sit down when you are not motivated and we wait for motivation to come and strike us, it's not going to happen, right? Very, very rarely is that going to happen. So having the discipline to, when I feel like I don't have it in me today, to get up and stand up and rise up is going to be the key. So that's what I would do. And then from there, carry on to whatever little steps you can do in order to be motivated. So if it's like a small little task, taking out the garbage, cleaning your room, doing the dishes, little things count as wins for you in motivation. This light is really hard. It's like a really hard light. How else would I approach motivation? It's hard because I don't rely on it. But if I were to, it would just be to move, but have a plan of what it is I want to do. So if you, I guess that would be it. Would be next with like, what else do I do? Yeah, knowing what I'm going to be doing today, right? So if I don't know what I'm going to do, I should at least know what it is I want to accomplish, right? If I want to accomplish cleaning my room, I want to accomplish working out at the gym, I want to accomplish to do, maybe have a list of those things. So now I know, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is this one. So let me just get up while I can and then start moving across the list of what I have. And when you start doing things, it just keeps moving. It steamrolls, it goes. Right? Your body will love it. It'll start moving towards it, and you'll become more productive than you think so. Number 2, let's see, here we are. It is Sunday morning at 7 a.m. here, which means it's sometime on the East Coast. I'm not sure. Where are we? How do you put yourself? How do you how do you deal with shame? That's a tough one, man. You must be Catholic. But I am too, and that's the word of the Lord, right? Like there's things that we're going to do in this world, and you're going to be shameful for them, and it's because you kind of know as a person that it wasn't a choice that you wanted to make or wasn't the right thing that you did. And the only thing I could say is for me is understand that God will forgive me, right? Having forgiveness. And you can be talking about something really drastic, or you can be talking about something more on the food side. Like, oh man, I'm not sure. So let's talk about two different ones, right? The shame of, let's say, real life stuff. I did something really that I didn't want to do, and now I'm shameful for it. Well, depending on the severity of what it is you did and why you feel shameful, I guess only asking for God's forgiveness is what's going to help you in this point or in this time. Right? Just help forgiving yourself for whatever it is that happened to you, whatever it is you did is going to be the work that you're going to have to put in. I'm not going to say it's going to be done in a second. It's going to be the work that you're going to have to put in, right? Finding out a way to forgive yourself as well as ask for forgiveness for yourself is I can say the key there. You can tell me if I'm wrong. But as for like, oh, I ate too much today and now I feel shameful, well, that's also another issue, right? That's another issue, which can be food triggering, food disorderly methods. I don't know the word there. Trust me, I know, because I have had and lived with and deal with eating disorders my entire life. Not my entire life, ever since I started losing weight as a fat kid. I did it the wrong way and developed anorexia, bulimia, tons of eating disorder, very disordered eating patterns going through it. So I get you. I get you on that one. And a lot of times when I eat, or I eat too much, or eat the wrong thing, or too much of the wrong thing that I know wasn't going to help me in my ways, it's just letting it go, right? Forgive yourself there for whatever the choices you made, and then get back on track and complete the steps as you normally would. Right? If you're on that fitness journey and you ate something and now you feel shameful for it, don't beat yourself up about it. There's nothing going to happen nothing wrong is going to happen within the next couple hours, days, years from that one little hiccup. Right? Just forgive yourself for it and just move on. Don't try to work it off. Don't try to fast it out. Don't try to, no, just it is what it is. You made it, and move on. Forgive yourself for that. Right? Forgive yourself for that moment of enjoying yourself, maybe being with people and hanging out with them and having a great time. But you just fell short of what your goal was, and it's not going to end. Right? This journey is not a time where it's going to stop. You're going to keep going. So for that little hiccup, it's not even going to dent, the car. You just got to keep going through it. Now, if you continuously make that same mistake, now you're doing it on purpose. Right now, it's like, all right, still forgive yourself, but you can't expect things to change if you're not going to change. That's just a habit now. right? So it's not a shameful thing. It's just part of what you're doing. So you have to create that change in order to do it, right? If there's no change, there's no change. That's how it goes. But I'm going to go walk the dogs now. Okay, as a test on this Sunday, I want to thank you guys for coming out. I have a couple more questions. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment down below. Wherever you're from, comment as well. Um, well, let's answer this one. What's one mental health habit that's helped you the most? Hmm. What's one mental health habit that's helped me the most? This is a tough one because there's a few, but I'm trying to think what has helped me the most. I'm going to say stopping the patterns of rumination. Means when you're stuck overthinking and over and over, it kind of creates anxiety. I think I made a short on this, like maybe a few weeks ago, like being in the moment where you just can't, like, it's rambling, right? Thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts and thoughts. What's the biggest skill is learn how to take all those ruminating thoughts, pause for a second, breathe, take that deep breath, right? Be present, meaning look at things, enjoy things. Like here's perfect example is a coffee, right? With this coffee, it's like it's dark, tastes delicious. It's a little colder now. It's not as hot as it was. It's in this cool white mug with blue spirals. I don't know how they did that. It's still dark. It's black. It's not really sweet because there's nothing in it. It's black coffee. It tastes definitely cold, a little bitter, and being present, right? I think this is called one mindfully in DBT, one mindfully. It's a skill that we use to kind of stop everything and just be in the moment. Now you could use this. A lot of people like to use fruit because you can smell it. So like oranges, anything. So not your phone, right? Don't do this. Oh, my phone. Let me see. That's wrong. Don't do that. That's stupid. Get something else, right? Be present within that moment. When I was making the video, I also was just in my car and all I did was count other cars drive by me over and over and over and over again. So I did that, right? So that's another thing that I did to be mindful in that moment, to kind of let all the other noise kind of shut up, right? While doing so, taking deep breaths, noticing my breath, noticing um, what's around me without thinking. And when I found something that would like trigger a thought to something else, I pull myself back to that object, which is why the object is important, right? So to me, the object is important to me because my mind can drift 3,000 different directions really fast. So pulling it back. And then when I'm done, I will journal. I'll write down, I'll talk it out. You know, some people think, oh, I have to carry a journal with me. I have to go on my phone. No, you don't. You don't have to go and, just for a second, right? Write something down, whether it's on a piece of paper and a pen. If you have a journal, then put in a journal. If not, I just talk it out into my phone, right? I press voice memo and I'll just talk like the things that are in my head. This is what I'm thinking about. This is how I'm feeling presently. Like just everything in that present moment. What is going on? Why is it happening? What's the feeling tied behind it? And then when I do the voice memo, it's obviously typing itself because I can't write very well. My brain works too fast for writing, but sometimes I can write. It helps me slow down. So that would be, I say, the three things that I do is first stop myself, like notice that I'm starting to ruminate a lot because sometimes that'll create tons of anxiety, then tons of, or even a panic attack, right? Because that overthinking process. So I'll stop it, take moments to breathe, slow down the breathing. One mindfully drill, which is just find something that I can focus on, right? Something that I can be present with in that moment. Then after that, journal everything of what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and everything around that. So that's definitely the last question. What I would do for that last question, which was what's the one mental health habit that I use. But if you guys are new to the channel, thank you for coming out. My name is Coach Pete. I talk about mental health, physical health. Check out the channel if you haven't subscribed, and make sure you like this video if you kind of live in the same world that we do here. All right, I'll talk to you later. Peace out, Cub Scouts. I'm going to go walk the dogs. It's time to. They're staring at me.